All right, hello. Welcome back, everyone, to another 5K tennis discussion. Here we are. It is Wednesday, April the 17th, 2019, and we are here for our 60-second show of the 2019 WTA and ATP seasons, and that would be 62. So I came to play today. Came to play. Let's roll. Monte-Carlo is in full swing, and I know Carla has a couple of topics that she wants to get right into, so we're going to jump right in. We had a great show yesterday, and we had a lot of action and comments right off the bat, right?
Yes.
Right off the bat, so we're going to jump right in to show number 62. Confident today, Carla. Confident.
I'm glad you're confident here and not on the courts. That was good. That's good to see confident here.
We had a good workout today. Carla and I did play a set. I did lose that set 2-6, or as she would say 6-2, but there was a real good reason for that, and no one ever cares about our scores, by the way, Carla.
No, I'm just glad that you're confident here.
But the last two prior to the set that we played today, in which, by the way, I couldn't run because both of my knees ached incredibly so. But she did not mention the prior two sets to today's set in which she lost both. But we won't get into that today.
I don't know why he's bringing it up, but that's all right.
We're going to get right into show number 62 with a couple of comments that came in yesterday from, or today actually. Mm-hmm. We didn't get done with yesterday's show till late last night, and here we are, and the daylight is still ongoing today.
Right.
These comments came in from Millennium 13, Constantine, longtime veteran here, and as well Rajesh Kumar, longtime veteran here. And this relates to the topic that Carla and I always discuss and have since almost day one of this show, and that was the Screech Level Index. Does anyone know what the Screech Level Index is? You know what the Screech Level Index is. I think most of you know what the Screech Level Index is, and if you don't know what the Screech Level Index is, it is the amount of sound that comes out of a respective tennis player's mouth, male or female, as they hit the tennis ball. And some of them hit the tennis ball and it comes out of their mouth after the ball is struck. So we have a Screech Level Index. So here, I'll try to act one out. Let's say Azarenka. Let's say Sharapova, who's another one on my top of the list, Screechers. Don't forget about Schiavone. It sounds like she's barfing when she hits a ball. Okay, so the Screech Level Index is rated amongst those that have this high decibel level of audible ear input as they hit the ball for no good reason whatsoever, in my opinion. So yesterday, I guess there was a match that we did not watch. We talked about it yesterday, and we'll get into it in the results, but it involved Jamie Munar and Borna Coric. So Millennium 13 came in with the comment that involved the Screech Level Index being pushed to another level. I think I had Victoria Azarenka at the top of that list with her last rating last year. We do this on an annual updated basis. So Azarenka came in last year right as she was coming back from the baby and everything else, and I think she had like a 9.7648. And it was an ear burster. We were watching a match, and it took out my left ear for about 23 hours. I couldn't hear out of my left ear anymore after that match. But Millennium 13 Constantine said that Jamie Munar took the Screech Level Index to another level. Right?
Right.
Did he?
That's what he said.
I mean, did you not watch some of this?
No.
Well,
I did watch some of his matches just to hear what the grunt was like.
And from what I understand,
it was I found it to be not loud, but more annoying.
Obnoxious.
Yes.
It was an obnoxious grunt. I think Rajesh saw this match as well because he mentioned that during the Borna Coric and Jamie Munar match that The grunting was quite out of this world.
Yes.
We did some soul searching on this one. We could not find this match as it stood anywhere for the Grunt Level Index. However, we did go back and watch some Jamie Munar matches where his grunting was not only almost unbearable to listen to, but it was almost seemingly that it wasn't even to grunt. It was almost like it was just there to make his opponent mad.
Yeah.
It was like an annoying grunt. So I think I will state that this early on in the season, because that Jamie Munar not only grunted louder than the fans were cheering, as well as he grunted after the ball was struck on multiple occasions, I would find his grunt at a 9.876414.327. And I only say the 1247 at the end of that number only because the way he grunted, it didn't matter if it was before the ball was struck or after the ball was struck. It was so loud and unbearable, even worse than Azarenka and Sharapova combined, that he did it after the ball was even hit. So I would find this an obnoxious, inaudible, grotesque grunt, which I think that Jamie Munar right now holds down the 9.87673641 heading into this part of the season. What do you think?
Okay.
Did you like the grunt?
No, I thought it was annoying. It wasn't even a grunt. It was more like a hindrance.
It was a heck of a grunt. If you know anybody that is grunting harder than Jamie Munar right now on tour before and after the ball is struck, please let us know. Right now, Millennium 13 is holding down the fort with the Gruntology PhD right here, right now, today. Thanks for giving us the heads up on Munar. My ears now hurt for having watched this, but nonetheless, we love you anyway. Let's go! Really love that. Munar, anytime Munar plays, turn the volume down.
That's right.
All right, here we go. Next topic. Casper, better known as Dead Seville, one of our longtime viewers that has won 3 prizes in a row from us, chose...
Two, but we gave him 2 strings.
Oh, 2 sets. 2 sets. He's going for 3.
Yes, he's going for 3.
All right, so Casper, better known as Dead Seville, as his username, in Poland, respectively, tennis player and himself, has won 2 sets of strings, 2 prizes in a row, and was going for his 3rd prize when he chose his pick. And that was Kei Nishikori being the most accumulative points winner after this clay court season ended.
Yikes.
Carla, what happened today to Kei Nishikori?
He got beat.
Oh, man. And do you recall who he lost to? Wasn't it Lajovic?
It was Herbert.
Oh, it was Herbert. Oh, I don't know why I thought about Lajovic, but wait a minute. Wasn't it Lajovic that took someone out today as well?
Yes, he did.
And we'll get to that. But Herbert took out Nishikori. Ay, Casper, man.
I would have never gone with Nishikori.
Casper,
I just
bro.
don't see Nishikori as a clay court player. I just don't.
Well, I think overall Nishikori...
Maybe a hardcore player, but not a clay court player.
I disagree with you there. I really think Nishikori's best surface is clay.
We need to prove that. I need statistics. All the viewers out there, bring me statistics. There's no way Nishikori's
You
better
disagree
on
with me on that?
Completely.
Wait a minute. Didn't
There's no way he's good on clay.
How many?
He's probably better on hardcore.
Let's look at. We know Nishikori hasn't won a lot of tournaments, but I can guarantee you that Kei Nishikori has been to more clay court semifinals than any other surface.
Well, I'm gonna do my research. If any of you have that research, let me know.
Casper, bro. Casper, would you have chosen Nishikori to be your clay court point total accumulator win?
He was better off going with Fognini than Nishikori.
What?
Yeah.
Nishikori's best surface is clay. I don't know where you spaced out in the last decade on that.
He was better off going with Fognini. Fognini's best surface is clay.
Anyway, Nishikori's best surface is clay. She obviously hasn't done her research.
Okay, I will.
I still love you, though.
Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
You played well today, but I can't help that I couldn't run. You played well, though. It was kind of cute watching you hit with those pink strings.
Pink and black.
Let's go. All right, next topic, moving forward. Carla actually threw this on my plate earlier today as we were training the kids on the court. I guess it was a random thought or something you read, I can't recall. But the topic is what has happened. What had happened was, what has happened to all the WTA, the Women's Tennis Association.
Well, no, it's it was from New York Times.
Well, yeah.
Where have all the American tennis tournaments gone? It was an article written a few days ago.
Yeah, we used to have, and we can't forget about the times of the Virginia Slims tennis tour. I think you played on some of that.
We had the final. The final tournament was in Madison Square Garden. No longer. It's in London and in China.
So the question is what has happened to all of the Women's Tennis Association?
It's not just women's, it's men.
Well, yeah. What has happened to all of the tournaments that used to take place in the U.S. that don't take place here anymore? I think there used to be a total of 55, and that is cincuenta y cinco.
Well, it says in the article, it says in 1990, 24 of the 55 WTA events were in the United States. Connecticut Open in New Haven was the only one this year. Only 7 of the 55 WTA events are currently on American soil. 5 of those 7 are joint events with men, including the U.S. Open, Indian Wells, and Miami Open. 16 of the 77 worldwide ATP events in 1990 took place in the United States. This year, only 11 of 63. At one time, both men and women's Year of the End tours were played at the Madison Square Garden, now in London, and women's in Shenzhen, China. In 1990, there were 4 WTA tournaments in Asia. Now there's 11. There was a quote that said, "Americans want to see Americans play," by Ann Worcester, and she's the director of Connecticut Open. She's the tournament director. "It's hard to sell tickets when you can promote only fewer Americans." Back in the 1990s, we had players like Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi, John McEnroe, Michael Chang, Jim Courier, and now we don't have that. The highest ranked player is John Isner at number 10. So, I mean, she's saying it's hard to promote European players because the American crowd wants to see American players. Very true.
So again, the question here...
So we won't have another American tournament till the hardcore season comes in, and that's not closer to the U.S. Open.
The question here is again, what has happened to the influx of tennis tournaments in the United States, both on the men's side and the women's side? This is a multifactorial stew question. Yes, this young lady you just mentioned was, I guess her excuse is that there are not enough tickets being sold because Americans want to see American players play. I think that's kind of stereotypical, and I don't even know if this is a term, but that seems kind of culturally biased. I don't want to say like tennis country racist or something. It's not about that. Hold on, let me finish this. My thought is here. What does it matter what flag you fly if you want to watch good tennis? First of all, I'm going to preach here for a minute. I don't care if you're from Antarctica, from Somalia, from Iraq, or from Greenland. I don't care. I want to watch good tennis play. I think it's a sorry excuse to say that's the reason why we've lost American tournaments is because Americans want to see Americans. In my opinion, it's very expensive to travel to see good people play. And we have the U.S. Open. Correct?
Yes.
And it sells out every year.
Yes, correct.
It sells out.
Well,
because the best players come play at that one tournament. But what other tournaments?
But New York, the U.S. Open, it's an international place. If you are from New York, you know that you don't even look at race. Everybody is from everywhere. It's a melting pot.
Well, it's not about race. It's about the flag here.
Right, and nobody really thinks about the flag. Everybody goes to see their favorite player from different countries. It doesn't matter where.
Yeah, and New York is a mecca, a hub. But what I'm getting at is that's one tournament.
Well, you have Indian Wells that was pretty full.
So okay, let's put the best players on the planet into perspective. How many tournaments does Novak Djokovic play in the United States every year? How many tournaments?
He plays pretty much all the hardcore season once.
I mean, but what I'm saying, out of 55,
no.
We're talking about 55 tournaments from years ago, and now we have like 7. What I'm saying is, besides New York, Indian Wells, Miami, Cincinnati, And after that, what's the reason for traveling? There's not many points involved these days.
Well, they're not bigger tournaments. He's playing master tournaments. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Why would Roger Federer want to go play in Houston?
There's no point of
it. Just wouldn't. I mean, we were watching the final of Houston this year, which is no disrespect, ATP 250, and there was birds chirping, and half the seats were filled.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is a question about. I don't think here's what I'm trying to get to.
Well, they're saying they can't sell tickets. They cannot sell the tickets.
I'm going to try to push through this and be more streamlined instead of all over the place. The reason why these venues aren't being sold out for tennis tournaments in the United States has nothing to do with that there's not American players playing, because there are in these smaller tournaments, and the seats are still empty. It's that the emphasis on an individual sport or 2-on-2 double singles in the tennis world and the United States it's not even discussed. You and I, we drive around and we listen to sports radio quite often, and we hear about golf and football and baseball, but we never hear about tennis.
Well, this is going back to our subject. Why is there are no American tennis players? Why is tennis dying in America? It's the same thing. It goes hand in hand with the tournaments.
Yeah, this is not about whether or not the reason why there's only a few tournaments left in the U.S. is because their U.S. players aren't playing. It wouldn't matter if Sampras was reborn again and Agassi was reborn again. You still wouldn't have people in the stands unless it was a final, which you're going to have usually people in the stands anyway for a final because it's on the weekend when people aren't working. The fact of the matter is that in this country, the focus is on football, and it's on, for the most part, baseball. Well, not even really baseball. Some of the baseball stadiums are empty because the focus is international on baseball.
Well, here's an example, Justin. Okay, just our boys finished their, what was it, sectionals,
Sectional
right?
state tournament.
So their principal came out to watch them play tennis, you know? Their football team, the school invested a lot of money in the football team, which did not win one game, but yet they had 6 players in the semifinals for the first time in their school, and no money is given to the tennis team.
And this is a good example. So
everything goes to football.
So the high school, and we won't mention names, but the high school that our children go to have a football team, as you can imagine, respectively. Great coaches, whatever. But they didn't win a game last year. They got a stadium, they got lights, they got uniforms, they got helmets, and some of these helmets are a few $100s a piece. What is there, 25, 30, 40 people on a team.
Not counting the tickets that were sold.
And everything in between. They didn't win a game. However, our tennis team, which we have the blessing of being able to assist with, had 6 players in the state sectional semifinals, the top 4 in the region. And we don't even have tennis courts to play on. And we have to drive an hour to practice. And people drive to practice. So what I'm saying is, it's not because there's no American players, because there's American players everywhere.
There is.
Trying to play.
Yes.
But usually they don't have anywhere to play. And if there's nowhere to play, and there's nowhere to play, and no one gives a darn about anything except, I guess...
the team sports.
The team sports. Then how can you expect the tickets to be sold for tournaments? It's not because American players aren't playing, because they are. It's because no one cares about tennis anymore here.
That's right.
And we're going to get into that question at the end of the show. All right. By the way, moving forward to the next topic, Furzy09, longtime veteran right here, much love, Furzy09, has had some biomechanical comments to bring up about the swollenness of Polona Hercog, and as well her new name. Now, again, my father, 81 years young, my lifetime coach, he's still a beast. He can still play ping pong and tennis with the best of us. I mean that. He asked, what is up with talking about the swollenness of women on the tennis tour? He must have missed the show before last. I don't think I sent it to him, and maybe he didn't see it. But there was a discussion about how are huge muscles relevant in the game of tennis. And we'll leave it at that, because I know most people have kept up with this. But in my opinion, the huge muscles like heavyweight wrestlers, I don't think it contributes well to the game. She doesn't think it contributes well to the game. But I think Furzy09 wanted to settle this topic.
No, I even feel when I lift too many weights and I go out on the tennis course that I'm too stiff. I'm not flexible when my shots are fast.
All right, so what did Furzy09 have to say about Polona Hercog?
He said her hedgehog is on drugs.
Hedgehog?
Hedgehog is on drugs. She got ripped and now is coming back to the tour. Serenko also has definition but not bulky. Stosur has the biggest muscles.
See, Furzy09 has always been very spot on in this deal. Obviously, this is being a sarcastic topic. Obviously, he doesn't mean she's on drugs. This is a joking thing. So if you're just tuning into this was smiley faces and nothing. We all do positive things here, and there's nothing off topic of that. Otherwise, we wouldn't put it out here. Anyway, totally smiling. Hercog is big. She's ripped up. And Stosur, yeah, she's big and she's ripped up. But I think Hercog...
She could give some tips to some of the guys.
Yeah, I think Hercog takes the cake. But again, the question isn't about whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Or a good. We know they're fit, and we're kidding and joking about she's on drugs. We're kidding totally. She's fit. She's working hard. Everything. But the question is do the big muscles help moving on the tennis court and fluidity? Do they or do they not? And so, Dad out there, that's where this came from. But it was not anything more than kind of a comic strip about it. But we, Carla and I, do not think that the huge muscles, and I mean like over-exaggerated, like been in the gym, lifting heavy weights, we don't think it contributes well to the game. That's what the topic was. Does it or does it not? All right. We had a couple of picks for our prize giveaway for the clay court season. And again, we will do a second prize giveaway as the French Open begins. And that will be the bigger one. But our prize giveaway, if you didn't already see, was whoever could choose or select the player on the men's ATP Tour that would accumulate the most points throughout the clay court season, culminating with the French Open, would receive a 5K tennis shirt, blue, because our new ones are blue, or a set of strings. If you could choose the male player from the ATP Tour that had the most points culminating throughout the clay court season, would win the prize. Except that your pick could not be Rafael Nadal.
Can't blame you for that one.
So we had a couple of people that put in their picks. We had Furzy09 that brought in Dominic Thiem. Again, if I was choosing, I would pick Thiem as well. And Wayne Chia, Singapore. Much love to you, Wayne Chia. I know it's really early in the morning there now, so buenos dias, homeboy. You like that Spanish, though. What? All right. So we have Wayne Chia and Furzy09 that brought up Dominic Thiem. I would have done that as well. That is my pick. Actually, no. I'm going to take that back. My pick would be Sasha or Alexander Zverev. I'm going to go with Zverev. You guys got Thiem. I got Zverev. Casper, i.e. Dedseville, picked up Nishikori. We talked about that already. And again, if Thiem does accumulate the most points, we will have some sort of tiebreaker, and we'll make that fun if it happens. But I think my pick was Zverev is going to win it anyway.
Good pick.
Okay? All right, let's get into the Monte-Carlo draws, Carla. Let's talk about matches that completed today.
Well, we had a pretty quick match, and actually surprising because, well, I thought Diego Schwartzman from Argentina should have won this match with his clay court season, head-to-head and his wins. But he got defeated by Taylor Fritz from the USA, 6-4, 6-2. I actually watched this match. It looked like Diego Schwartzman was a little lost out there. His balls were short and going into the net. Taylor Fritz he kept rallying with him and made him tired and made Diego Schwartzman hit pretty short. I mean, he looked short in this match. He really did.
Schwartzman is short.
He looked short in this match. He looked like he didn't play on clay.
I still am shocked that Schwartzman lost it. Short or not,
he was the number what season?
Seeding doesn't matter to me here. I don't care what number.
But he's done good in clay. He always does good in clay. And Taylor Fritz is an American player, a young and upcoming player that plays on hard court. And he looked like he'd been playing on clay all his life. I mean, he looked good.
Again, I kind of disagree with Carla there. I don't think...
Well, you thought that Diego Schwartzman would win this match.
I did think Diego Schwartzman would win this match. If they played again, I would again say that he would win this match. I'm not a fan of either player.
I'm not, but
I'm not a fan of either player. Again,
Taylor
I'm not looking at the American player or whatever.
Well, but
I'm not a fan of either player.
But Diego Schwartzman looks forward to the clay season because this is where he capitalizes on all the points, and he could not win this match. He wasn't even close. So
yeah, that was an odd match.
Taylor Fritz will face Novak Djokovic from Serbia.
If Novak Djokovic does not win the next match against Fritz in straight sets, in other words, kind of like Nadal beat Bautista Agut today, 6-1, 6-1. If Djokovic does not beat Taylor Fritz at least 1-1, if not bagel, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be like, ooh, we really have to be worried about this French Open run for Djokovic.
And by the way, a lot of people got on him on social media about him smashing his racket. They said, he said, this is a guy that's number one, and I read so many comments, number one, and here he is smashing rackets.
Against Kohlschreiber.
Not a good look. A lot of coaches made comments on this. Not a good look for him.
Yeah, I mean, if you missed our last show, again, there's a playlist you can click on. Look at our last show, and we griped about this for a while. Inexcusable. Just whatever. Move forward.
Yes. Daniil Medvedev from Russia defeated Radu Abad from Moldova 6-1, 6-2, and will be facing the winner Stefanos Tsitsipas, the number 6 seed from Greece, who defeated Mikhail Kushkin from Kazakhstan. So, interesting match. I think this will be a tough match, actually, for Tsitsipas, because Medvedev plays pretty well in play, in my opinion.
I figured Tsitsipas would beat Kukushkin. However, I thought that Albat would beat Medvedev. Medvedev beat Albat. I think this opens...
That was my pick originally. So.
I think this opens the door for a Tsitsipas Djokovic 4th round.
That's what I had originally. Yes.
So, did I have Tsitsipas Djokovic 4th round?
No, you did not. You had Chardy.
No, I had Chardy in there. So, anyway, it looks like you're on par. Good picks there.
Thank you.
Rolling it deep. All right, so I think Tsitsipas will inevitably lose to Djokovic in the 4th round.
I agree.
But if he doesn't, then we've got a problem.
Dominic Thiem defeated Martin Klisan from Slovakia 6-1, 6-4, and will be facing Dusan Lajovic from Serbia, who defeated David Goffin, the number 16 seed from Belgium, 6-3, 6-4. You had picked Goffin to win this match.
I did.
But Lajovic, the Serbian, came through and will be facing Thiem. I picked Thiem to go through this match.
By the way, big shout out to all our Serbian viewers. We have a lot of them. I think, by the way, to give Serbia a shout out, last time I looked at our analytics, I think like 19% of all of our viewers were Serbian.
They love tennis. They do love tennis. I mean, they love individual sports. Too bad we don't have more of those in the United States.
I'm going to give you a Uzni salute with a racket. I don't have a racket. Yeah, I do. All right, you might hear something fall. Uzni salute. All right, Uzni salute to everyone in Serbia, by the way, because that is a huge thing that 19% of all of our viewers are in Serbia. And great job for Lajovic here to win. Lajovic can give Thiem a run for his money, but I think Lajovic's luck will run out with Thiem.
Yes. I was, again, shocked by this match because Cameron Norrie from Great Britain hasn't had a good year. And he defeated my man, Fucsovics from Hungary, 7-6, 6-3. I was surprised because usually this guy doesn't do well in play.
A lot of time, Carlo likes certain tennis players because of the way they look and not how they play. And when they win a match, and when they win one match, she thinks that they're the greatest thing in the entire world.
First of all, you were the one that told me about him, and you said, "Look at this guy."
I said he's strong. I didn't say he was great.
Look at how strong this guy. He looks like a soldier. You said.
Okay, yeah, he does look like a soldier. I didn't say he was the greatest tennis player until you saw him. You're like, oh, he does look like a soldier. He is really great. Ooh. Okay.
I didn't say he was a great tennis player, but I thought that he should win against a player who came with no confidence into this tournament, who's lost many matches, and he won. 7-6, 6-3 pretty convincingly.
She sounds like a lost puppy. If you rewind about 200 shows ago, because I think we've done about 230, she used to say that Alexander Dolgopolov, because of his new little spunky look, well, we talked about it, his new little spunky look would cause him to be the #1 player in the world.
I never said that in any of the shows.
We talked about Dolgopolov a million times where you thought that... Anyway, moving forward. So Dolgopolov was one because she liked his little spunky new wave look. Fucsovics. Okay, here's another one. She started calling Kachanov Thor. Chechinov got doused in this tournament right off the bat, and I called it. Was it to Sonego or somebody? Didn't Sonego?
Well, Nori will face Sonego in the next round.
All right. Well,
this is a toss-up between those two.
Yeah, this is like.
I'm guessing the Italian will have the crowd behind him since it seemed he had some followers in this tournament.
This is a coin toss to who will meet TM. It's a coin toss to TM.
Okay.
All right.
Next match. Kei Nishikori, the number 5 seed, went down to Pierre Hughes Herbert, 7-5, 6-3. Good for this player because I've always enjoyed watching Herbert play. But I saw him at the U.S. Open and I told Justin, look at this guy. He can play.
Nice net game.
Lovely.
Good doubles player.
He did lose in the first round of doubles with his partner, Nicholas Mahut.
He's got a good kind of court etiquette. He kind of stays chill a little bit. You know, he kind of looks like he belongs on the tennis court.
I like him. He will face off Borna Koric.
You know, I used to think Lucas Pouille looked like he belonged on a tennis court. I think Herbert looks like he...
Yeah, he's an older player. I think he's like 26, 27, a double specialist, but he will be facing Borna Koric in the next round. I still think that Borna Koric will win the next round.
I still think that Dead Seville, i.e. Casper, with his Nishikori pick accumulating the most points during this clay court season is like, man.
Ouch.
Man.
Ouch.
I wish I could go back in time and change that pick.
Well, Fabio
Koric wins that match against Herbert, though.
Fabio Fognini from Italy moved on due to retirement. Gio Simone did not play his match. He withdrew from the match. So Fognini moves on and will face Alexander Zverev, the number 3 seed from Germany, who defeated the youngster, the 18-year-old Felix Auger-aliassime, 6-1, 6-4. I actually watched this match. Felix did not look very confident. He had a lot of unforced errors. Many unforced errors in the first set. He just couldn't quite get his game going. And Zverev was the better player that day. Good for him because he needs all the wins. You know, we're expecting a lot from Alexander and nothing has come through yet.
And I don't particularly think that this is his best surface. And I don't think I want to go ahead and count my chickens that he's going to do anything because he just beat a young Felix Auger-aliassime in Monte-Carlo on clay.
He was happy though.
I'm
sure he was happy. He was relieved.
I'm sure he was happy, but if I remember correctly, I think that Sasha or Alexander Zverev, the German, I think he's roughly 21 now, maybe
he's
22,
21.
And Felix is 18, so he's 3 years his junior. That is Felix, the Canadian. I don't know why you would be so happy to have won this match. Sure, you're happy to win a match, absolutely. But, I mean, should you be that happy? I mean, at this point, I think you should be winning majors, Sasha Zverev. I think so. Or very close to it, if not knocking on the door, and maybe already, and maybe too late, and maybe, like, already too late. I don't know. But all I'm saying is I don't think he should be that happy. Again, I do have Sasha Zverev as my favorite to accumulate the most points during clay court season, even though I think Nadal will win almost every tournament that he enters, and I think we can all pretty much agree with that, unless Dominic Thiem has something to say about it. I think the thought of Novak Djokovic doing any damage on clay season, and don't shoot me, again, I'm a fan, a bigger Roger fan, but I think the chances are slim. I think Federer has a better chance of doing better and more damage on clay than any of these guys. I think Nadal will accumulate the most points, but in my pick, besides Zverev, I think Roger Federer will be up there. And he's only playing, 2 tournaments? Madrid and the French?
Okay. Well, Guido Pella will play tomorrow against Marco Cecchinato. They had a rest today since they played yesterday.
I don't have any interest in that.
That's a toss-up.
I don't have any interest in that.
And, I think Arvis mentioned that he doesn't want all the credit because, basically, Wawrinka had given him a 6-0 and then basically lost the match himself.
Yeah, and again, the Arvis that she is discussing is a really one heck of a tennis student. And
he said, I can't take credit for really Stan Wawrinka messed up that match.
He has to take some credit for it because the guy, Arvis, has been writing tennis for at least a decade or close to it at this point. And really spends a lot of time on it. And we gave Cecchinato a hard time at the end of last year. And he said, hey, wait, guys, until clay court season begins. And I understand that Wawrinka dealt Cecchinato a bagel in the first set of their match. And Cecchinato came back and won that match. But maybe it's just a testament of what he was saying all along, that Cecchinato tends to find a way on clay. I don't think that Cecchinato will be able to beat the likes of Djokovic, Nadal, or Federer on clay. I just don't. Or Thiem.
Okay.
But yet he's ranked up there with the elite on clay.
Because of what he did last year.
Agreed.
Grigor Dimitrov from Belarus defeated John Lenar Struff from Germany, 7-6, 6-4. First time I don't pick Dimitrov, and he wins.
Yeah, I agree with that. I chose Struff on this one as well. But yeah, Dimitrov pulled it off. Well, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Who knew, right?
Yeah, who knew?
And then he'll face Nadal, and that will be the end of Dimitrov's run. And I think this might be an ugly 2-2.
Well, Rafael Nadal, dispatch. Roberto Batista Agut 6-1, 6-1. Wasn't even a match.
Yeah, I don't
just.
Yeah, the match began, and as soon as it began, the match ended. And we watched some of this match, and it was like spilling a drink in the car. One of your kids like drops a bottle of something, and it like spills on an arm handle, and you got like stop and wipe it up, and then you get back on the road and you just keep driving forward. Like 10 seconds later, that's how this match was. It was like the spilled thing of baby juice in the backseat of your car.
It was your typical play match that Nadal plays, unless it's someone like Djokovic he's playing against.
So in both of our predicted draws, Carla and I both shared the fact that we thought that TM would meet Nadal in the final and Nadal would win. So right now we're doing pretty well.
Yes, we are.
Moving forward. All right, so as we end this show for today, we are going to slide in a new segment, and that is tennis questions for the day. Tennis questions for the day. Here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ad-lib responses, comment below. Let's talk about it. Question. What makes tennis a great sport? Rapid fire. What makes it a great sport? Go.
It's an individual sport.
Give me another one.
It's hard to learn.
Give me another one.
Must practice a lot.
To me, it's graceful. To me, it shows patience, perseverance. It requires
Not
practice.
everyone can do it.
Not everyone can do it. It takes a lot of time to learn, and I think this will go back into our segment where we talked about why aren't there many tournaments at WTA or ATP in the United States these days. It's because the darn thing is so difficult to learn.
Yeah, you have to have a lot of patience, dedication, and desire to learn the game.
Yeah, I mean, you see these people swinging these things around. These balls are just being missiled, left, right, up the center, drop shot, lob, and you think that you can just walk out there and do it, but it's a really difficult sport to watch. But isn't that what makes it so beautiful?
Yes. And there's so many different styles and techniques of hitting, the way you hit the ball. You see so many different players hit it in a different way.
Chip and charge, grind, attack, serve and volley.
And it's everyone in the world can play tennis. You meet players from different places that you never thought would know about tennis. I mean, I've gone to some countries, but I didn't even know they had courts.
It's amazing sport. It makes the world a whole lot smaller. Question number 2. What makes good tennis fun to watch? What makes good tennis fun to watch? Rapid fire, go.
For me, it's the amazing shots that you can hit, while you're on the run.
2 more. Give me another one.
Hitting the ball with a lot of depth and hard. I don't know.
Last one. Give me another one.
I don't know.
For me,
I can't think.
What makes good tennis, or what makes
a
tennis,
good personality.
The way the player carries themselves, the way they shake hands at the end of the match, the way they can go out and battle for hours on end, simply to have someone finally strike the last ball out into the net for a win or whatever, and have all that finally end. The practice that goes into it, the way they play the game, he or she, or anyone for that matter. It doesn't matter if it's wheelchair tennis, it doesn't matter if it's junior tennis, it doesn't matter if it's mixed doubles or adult league tennis or pro tennis. It's really a beautiful thing to watch, and what for me makes it absolutely incredible to see is the way that we watch good tennis players carry themselves on the court, the way they execute their game plan, and the way that they shake hands at the net at the end, for me. Number 3, why is tennis difficult to learn to play well?
I think it's because a lot of people lose their patience and give up.
It takes tens of thousands. That's undershooting it. It takes millions of balls to learn how to hit one correctly. It takes a lot of feet, a lot of footwork, and a lot of diet and health discipline. And not always. I mean, you can still play the game no matter what size, shape, or whatever you are in. But the question is why is it difficult to learn to play well? Everything comes into play: timing, footwork, attitude, conduct, and everything in between. It's very, very, very complex, and to play it well is a beauty to see and to watch. Last question: how is life like tennis? Go.
How is what?
Life like tennis. How is life like tennis? You don't know the answer to that?
No.
How is life like tennis?
How is life like tennis? Oh, well, you have to battle. It's you have to figure out things. When you think you're down,
it takes
there's
patience.
always a way. Yeah.
You can always come back no matter how much of a hole you're in. And even if you do lose, you can live to fight another day, right?
Obviously, you thought of this already.
I thought about it. I wrote it. You didn't know it was coming. See, this is one of those pop questions, but you should still be in on this one.
I didn't understand what you were saying.
If you're a good tennis player, you are a lady or a gentleman, you're not going to hopefully throw your racket or smash it on the tennis court. Hello, everyone out there that smashes rackets. I was going to say Novak Djokovic because that was the freshest one in my mind, but there's so many more.
Yeah.
The ability of anyone to pick up something and to be able to learn it and then to use what they learn as a passion in their life is, for me, you see so many people in tennis that have just picked up a racket and you see them 10 years ago and now it's part of their life. It's like they act like a tennis player. They walk like a tennis player. Right. They talk like a tennis player. Definitely. They dress like a tennis player. So it's really an amazing thing to see. But comment below, how is tennis like life? Ups and downs, wins and losses, practice. You got to dig deep. How is tennis like life? I think it's a lot like life. All right. Ending the show, quote of the day. By the way, to get this quote of the day, as we usually do, I just went to Google and I Googled up quote of the day. And this was the first one that came up. You ready? Quote of the day, Googled up. And this came from Brainy Quote. That was the source. Brainy Quote. All right. Here we go. With the new day comes new strength and new thoughts. Life is short, and if we enjoy every moment of every day, then we will be happy no matter what happens or what changes along the way. Some days are just bad days, that is all. Right? I couldn't agree more. Sometimes the crap just hits the fan and there's nothing you can do about it. And I'll keep it PG, but there's a bumper sticker that I like a lot that I would have on my car if I could spell it differently. But there's a bumper sticker that consists of 2 words. And those words are, politely, crap happens. Okay? Crap happens. Sometimes it's not that we deserved it. It's just a bad day.
It's a bad day. Well, we'll always have them. And you just got to figure it out and move on and look at the positive. Right?
Look
positive out of it.
Now, exactly what Carla just said related to the last thought we had on the previous page where she didn't have an answer. And that was, how is tennis like life? The reason why I put that at the end is because you just absolutely defined what it is that you did not have an answer for before. Okay? She didn't know it. I caught you in that one. Let's go. Okay?
It's
been a long day. She's trained 5 kids today. We went out with the kids today. She trained the 3-year-old. She trained the 6-year-old. She trained the 9-year-old.
10-year-old.
Or the 10-year-old. She just turned 10 yesterday.
Which is the toughest one to train because now we're getting into the part where you got to start thinking now.
So she just absolutely answered why tennis is a lot like life. Stay positive. If you lose a point, hold your head up. Time to the next point. Great job. Way to finish it up. You finished it up on a really good note. Great show, Carla. Much love for sure. And I look forward to redeeming myself from the 6-2 loss today. All right, so that's it, everyone. Click a like below. Subscribe below. Share the video. We have a really good time with this. And it's great to be doing clay court season now with you all. If you wish to contribute to our channel, by the way, there are a couple of links below in the description field that you can expand by hitting the down arrow. We have PayPal, Cash App, and so forth. And again, much love to B-Dog for assisting us with our tripod. And again, much love to all of you. And we can't wait to see what happens as this clay court season unfolds. As Carla always says, though, adios.
Adios.
See you tomorrow.